Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. As you guys begin to come into the room, I hope that everybody had a great day today. I pray that everybody had a great day today. As you guys come into the room, just tell me how your day was. Was it excellent, magnificent, wonderful, blessed? How was it? If this is your first time attending, then please slide in your date, your place where you are, your location where you are. We just welcome you to the group. As people begin to come in, welcome Denise. How you doing? Also, if you're brand new, actually switch. So look, Denise getting started already in her hearts. Switch from left to right on your iOS device. If you're on, swipe from left to right on your iOS device. And Smyrna, Georgia. Hey, bless God. Thank you so much. God's covenant girl, cover girl. I like that. It's cover girl. Brittany, how you doing? Let's welcome God's cover girl to the group. This is Faith for Financial Freedom, where we talk about one thing, and that is helping you to change your mind about money. We believe money management is a mindset. If you can change your mind about money, money will do the same thing and change its mind about you and stay around for a whole lot longer. I believe that poverty is a mindset. I'm going to say it again. Poverty is a mindset. Broke is a temporary condition. It's only temporary. I promise you. You can change your mind about money. Money will change its mind about you and stay around for a whole lot longer. So, as we begin to talk about and deal with what's going on, today is talking about getting control of your finances. Getting control of your finances. We know that on last week we talked about getting our last broadcast. We talked about getting your priorities in perspective. Getting your priorities in perspective, and that was a very, very good thing. I was traveling, so guys, please forgive me if it didn't come through very clearly, but we were traveling. But I did want to make sure that I was being faithful to the group, as you guys are faithful to me on every single day. We right here at our day every single day. Thank you for inviting for inviting followers as well. Swipe from left to right on iOS, from bottom up if you're on Android. And let's invite some people. Good night from Canada. Oh, it's nighttime there. What time is it in Canada? What time is it there? I know we know it's 7:30. I'm on Central Standard Time, so it's about 7:35 here, Central Standard Time. I'm not sure what time it is there. But I would like to know. I would like to know before we get started. We're going to start talking about it. Just a review in 8:35. Okay, so you're only about an hour. You're on Eastern Standard Time then. Let's go ahead and get started. I did find out something. I'm about to put these ugly things on. Well, I guess it's too late. I was supposed to put these on. I was supposed to put them on. Denise is probably going to laugh at me. We've been trying to figure out how to stop the buffering or the freezing up on the Periscope. We've been having very, very significant problems with the freezing up on Periscope, and we're trying to figure that out. I watched a YouTube video that said that if you wear headphones, that it would actually stop some of that freezing up, and you had to do it before you actually start the Periscope, and I forgot, and I'm not going to close it down. And we're also going to send a trouble ticket to Periscope, letting them know that that's an issue as far as our broadcast is going on. Yeah, I know. I blew that one, didn't I? I blew it 100%. I just forgot to do it. Yes, they do have a mic. There's a mic on it, but we were supposed to do it before you actually start the broadcast. I don't think you can do it while he emphasized it very much. Before you start the broadcast, do this. And I blew it. So we'll try it tomorrow and see what happens. Hopefully today we won't have the freezing that we've been experiencing. Today we're going to be talking about how to get a hold of your finances, how to actually get a hold of them, manage them. I'm going to tell you guys from right now, nobody likes a tough coach till they win. I'm going to say it again. No one likes a tough coach until they win. And that is to say this. I'm your coach, and my job is to be tough. Don't get mad at me. But when you actually start seeing your portfolio begin to grow, and you actually start to see the diversification, and you begin to see that you're in a much better situation today than you was last year this time, you guys will appreciate the toughness that I have. I'm funny, I'm silly, but I really take this as my passion, as my ministry. I take it very seriously, and we begin to actually open up some of these things, exits. We'll begin to take some of these things very seriously as we begin to go through some of this stuff. You're going to have homework from this point forward every single day. I'm going to say it again. You're going to have homework every single day from this point forward, because we're actually getting to some of the meat and potatoes of the curriculum, and we actually want to be able to teach you. Now, we're designing the course as we go as well, because this course is actually designed What is that? Something rattling over here. I don't know what it is. But this course is designed to be once a week, and we're actually doing it every day. And so it gives me the opportunity to go into a lot more detail and a lot more in depth than we have to do in class. We usually do a class of 2 hours once a week, and we're doing an hour a day. So I get to be a lot more detailed, which is good. The disadvantage is that I'm in a setting where I'm live in the classroom. We can have more interaction. I can actually look over their shoulder and see what it is they're working on and what they're doing. The disadvantage is this, that you guys have to email me some of your stuff, and we have to be able, I'll review it at night, and I actually come back to you the next day and actually do those things. Before we start, and we're starting very shortly, email me at george@gmhoward.com if you have any questions, concerns, or critiques, how we can make this better, how I can be more social. Like, one critique you guys can be like is, before you get started, you might want to close the cabinet behind you. That would probably be a critique that you guys should tell me, like, you got a cabinet door open in the background. You probably want to close that before you get started. That kind of critique. You know, you talk too fast when you get excited. That kind of critique. Let me know. I'll welcome it. The only way we can actually get this thing better and bigger is that we have to actually make sure that we're in the spirit of excellence at all times. All right. So, quick review. You're always in two stages of wealth accumulation. You're always in two stages. You're in the stage of earning money or burning money. We talked about this previously. Earning money is when you're actually accumulating your assets. We talked about your assets are, number one, your assets are income. It's your income. You have either working income or passive income. We explained that in a previous one. We won't actually go into detail with that. Your savings would be number two. Number three would be investing. And number four would be simplicity. Simplicity quickly is actually begin to simplify your lifestyle down so that you can actually begin to save money in those particular areas. Burning money, those are your earning money stages. Your burning money is anytime you're spending money. Those are your liabilities. That's your mortgage, your car note, your credit card debt, utilities, cable, insurance, child support, daycare. All of those things are expenses. They are liabilities that you have every single month. This is very detrimental. You have to understand these things. If you cannot, and it sounds simplistic, but a lot of things that we call assets are not assets. If it costs money and it's not making money, it is a liability. I know they say, my house is an asset, but your mortgage is not. Your house may be an asset, but your mortgage is not. So it doesn't work out that way, the way we want it to work. And say, it's just an asset. No, because every single month that you make that mortgage payment is money that we could be using to actually put another place and actually begin to earn money and not burn it, because we're actually paying interest to a banker, to a mortgage company, to usually a bank, or it could be a mortgage company, depending on what kind of loan you have. And we'll go from there. All right. So we also talked about who's coming with you. The two people that need to come with you is your spouse, if you're married, and your children, if you have children. The Bible talks about how can two walk together except they agree. That's your spouse. You guys have to come into agreement with this for it to work exceptionally well. For it to work exceptionally well, we want to see you guys actually walking together and agreeing in that. And then also the Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance for who? His children's children. Why would you leave an inheritance to somebody who don't know how to manage money? The Bible also says that the borrower is a slave to the lender. The very next verse, I kind of blew that. It says, raise up your child in the way he should go, and when he gets old, he will not depart from it. The very next verse is the borrower is a slave to the lender. You have to teach your children how to manage their money. They go together. Teach your child train your child in the way he should go. When he gets old, he will not depart from it. The very next verse is the borrower is a slave to the lender. They're related. The Bible's talking about teach your children not to be slaves. Teach your children not to be slaves to debt, not to be slaves to finance companies. We want to make sure and ensure that we actually bringing our children along with this as well. So the two people that's coming with us are, your spouse and your children. So I wouldn't say two people, but the two sets of people. You can have 5 kids. When we did our workshops and stuff, children came free. All right. And then we talked about priorities. Now, that's where I want to really get to. Your priorities, we talked about last week, putting your priorities into perspective. And priorities is simply this: organizing your task, or organize your task in an orderly fashion. Putting your task together in an orderly fashion. What comes first, what comes second. It's a hierarchy. And you guys had a chance to go through those priorities. I know you did. And we're not going to deal with it right away right now. We are going to deal with it, but not right away. We want to jump to the next thing, because that's where our priorities actually come in place. And we're going to actually start talking about an expense report. All right. This is your homework that you're going to have. You ready for this? I'm going to tell you up front, you're not going to like it. because it's going to make you do some work. I'm tired. If y'all can't feel the energy, I'm tired. But we believe in God to refuel me in the name of Jesus. We want some excitement today, but I am tired. But listen, what was it? Expense report. An expense report is simply this. It is a report of all your expenses. That's deep. I mean, that's about as deep get. An expense report, a report of all your expenses. How do you get that report? That means you actually have to track and write down every single one of your expenses that you do on a daily basis. It is not easy because we spend consciously on another basis, but we also usually don't write down all of our expenses. So I don't care if it's change in your pocket, you went to the vending machine, you spent 60 cents on a Snicker bar at the vending machine, write it down. We want every single thing accounted for. Remember we talked about in Luke 16, it said give an account of your management. We want every single thing accounted for. You're not going to like it. I know with every class, I go through this with every class, but we have to write down every single thing because we're going to actually start categorizing actually your expenses. As a matter of fact, I thought I already had those notes separated. Give me 1 second. As far as categorizing your expenses, and I've been going back to the curriculum trying to figure out, okay, so we're going to actually do this, but it's instead of a week, we're going to get this done and on a daily basis. So while we go through some of this stuff kind of expeditiously, we're going to actually be able to deal with this in a lot more detail than I previously would be used to dealing with, which I think is a very good thing. Actually, it's an awesome thing. So let's see here. Let's go through the categorization of your, if I can find my notes. Thought I just had them with me. Oh, they are. They're right here in front of me. Right in front of me. All right. So you're ready. Let's get ready for categorizing your expenses. Are you guys ready? How to organize your money. Number one, we want you to actually write these different categories down. If you guys already have your spreadsheet, this is page number 4 on week number 3. If you guys got your emails already, it's page number 4 on week number 3. These are the particular categories that we're going to actually utilize. We have charitable donations. Well, number 1, charitable donations is number 1. Number 2 is savings and investment. Number 3 will be housing. Number 4 will be transportation. Number 5 will be debt. 6 is entertainment. 7 is personal care. 8 is children. 9 is clothing. 10 would be personal, and then we have other. There are some things that just don't fit in any of those categories, like the fund, the things we do with our fund for money. And we're actually going to take that and we're going to begin to categorize every single expense in these particular categories. It's very important that you track your spending. As you guys know, that the curriculum is written in mile markers, it's not written in chapters. These are mile markers, and this is a virtual trip that we're taking. That's not reality. It's a virtual trip we're taking from London. Not enough to London, just enough to London, more than enough. And the first thing that we teach is before you get in the car, first of all, you got to figure out who's driving. We talked about that already. Who's going with you? We talked about who's not going with you. And now we're talking about you have to, before you go on a long trip, I would hope most people do this, you get your car inspected. You want to find out, can the car actually make this trip? Well, they're checking for leaks. They're checking to make sure that you're not losing oil, transmission fluid, that you don't have a gas leak, that the car is in good shape. You're not losing air pressure. Your tires are okay. Well, there's some leaks in your finances. There are some leaks in your finances that will prevent your vehicle from getting where we want to go. So as we track our expenses, we're actually doing a financial audit as they do a car audit. They do an inspection, a full, I think is what they call it now, like 101-point inspection of your vehicle. We're doing a 101-point inspection of your finances. And the only way we can do that is to find out, where is the money going? Where are you spending the money? You got to be able to do this. Where's your money going? Exactly. I know I don't see you guys. I know you don't. But I've done this for 20 years. I've probably done 100 classes. I know exactly what you guys are like. Oh my God, are you serious? Yes, I'm very serious. Every single expense. And guess what you guys get to do? Every day, we're going to give a report on how much you spent that day. That's going to be some of our interaction. How much money you spend today? And I want you to be able to come back on. I will say we spent $227.19. And daily, yes. Daily. We're going to do it every single day. Typically, when we are in a class, we do it once a week. But we have the advantage now to hold people accountable to actually be doing it every single day. Every single day. Because I'm telling you, the change in your pocket, we're counting it. Why? Because that's money. Pennies add up, y'all. Nickels add up. I only spent $1.25 today. Well, bless God. Bless God for that $1.25. We want to keep it that way. But no, we won't do it today because you guys did not know this was going to be your homework moving forward. But we're going to do what's called tracking your expenses. We're inspecting your finances. We're inspecting your vehicle to make sure that we can get on this trip. If we have a leak, we got to plug that hole. We got to fix that leak. And I'm going to tell you now, 99.9% of the people who come through have leaks. Some of them have holes. Holes. And that actually gives us where we are and actually how to begin to do that. So that's called an expense report. That's over here. I want you to categorize it as an expense report. An expense report is tracking all your expenses. That's different than a budget. I'm going to say it again. Your expense report is different than a budget. Your budget is when you tell your money what to do. Your expense report is what your money actually did. Say it again. Your budget is to tell your money what to do. Your expense report is actually what you did. The way I like to speak of it like this. Money is your children. Money's kids. That's your kids. If you're from the old school, like I was brought up, when my mama said, do something, I had to go do it like right then. I didn't get to finish playing my game. I didn't get to finish my phone call. I didn't get to say, just wait a minute. And she said, I need you to do ABC. I got up then and I did ABC. Wasn't no lip, wasn't no talk back. I had to do what they told me to do. Well, that's how your money should be. Your money's your children. You should tell your children what to do. Not like today where children tell you what to do. That's how your money's been doing. Your money's been telling you what to do. Your money's been telling you how long you could take a vacation, if you could call off work, if you could actually go to the hospital, if you could go to the clinic, if you could take off for the funeral, if you could go on vacation, where you could go. It's been telling you what you can do. Not anymore. Today, you're going to start telling your money exactly what it's going to do. It's your kids. It is under your control. You are the person who is the wealth accumulator. You're the person responsible. You're going to take authority over your finances today and start telling your money exactly what to do, where to go, and how long it's going to be there, how much money it's going to actually make, how many more kids it's going to make. You want your money to make some, you want your kids, which is your money, to make some grandkids quickly. You want your kids making some grandkids and making them grandkids make some other great grandkids. And watch that money begin to multiply. That's what you want to start doing. So we're going to actually talk about your expense report. Then we're going to talk about your budget, and we're going to go from there. And then finally, we're going to talk about needs, wants, and desires. And if you guys have, if you don't have this part of the curriculum, please email me at george@gmhoward.com. Or it's going to make it a lot harder for you to follow if you don't have this worksheets in front of you or available to you. And so, because we will be using these extensively. That's george@gmhoward.com. Email me. I'll send it over to you, and we can get this thing started. Y'all ready? Let's go. If you're looking at page 4, which is this page right here, there's a cute little cartoon on here that I liked. I put on here. Guy's doing his budget, and he got the whole family lined up. Looked like he got about 5 kids and a dog and a wife. No, he got 6 kids. She holding a baby, and he's doing the budget. And he says, I've taken another close look at the budget, and I'm sorry, I'm going to have to let 2 of you go. If only it was that easy, right? Like, yeah, the dog and the baby boy, they got to go. I don't know what we're going to do with them, but we can't. That's how some of us feel when we do our budget, too. Like, man, somebody got to go. That's not reality. We're not cutting nobody loose from the household. It's not going to happen. We're just going to try to we're not trying. We're going to make provision for everyone in the house and actually have some money left over. All right. So, yep. We're not cutting nobody loose though. All right. So the wink is link. No, we're not letting nobody go. How are we doing on freezing right now? How are we doing on freezing? Are we okay? I see people going in and out of the room. I think, Denise, you went in and out of the room once. Is it still freezing up on you? It's okay. All right. Awesome. All right. So, Charitable Slow down, George. Charitable donations is simply this. You have to earn your keep. Everybody can't earn their keep, Raven. You got the dog. The dog, he earned his keep by keeping the house safe. So I guess he's earning his keep. He keep the house safe while you're gone. But them children, typically, you don't get that return on your investment to actually get out the house and to actually start making some income when they can actually start paying some bills. But your return on investment for them is actually seeing them become good kingdom citizens and good moral citizens. That's your return on investment for your kids. That's about the only way you're going to get your ROI. Remember, we're going to talk about that a whole lot. ROI, rate of return. You got to be able to get a rate of return on everything we're doing. All right. I'm trying to perk up, y'all. I don't know if y'all noticed. I'm trying to perk up. I'm tired. Dog got to pull his weight somewhere. You'd be surprised what that dog did. You know, there's actually a study. I don't know if you guys know. I'm a fan of this show called American Greed. And one of the things that they actually talked about on American Greed when they was actually doing something on theft is that when your house is getting cased, criminals, thieves, when they're casing your house, one of the things they look for is a dog. So believe it or not, dogs will keep criminals away. One of the things they look for is a dog. I learned this, and this is off the top subject, but it's something that could help you. One of the things that I found out is that privacy fences is something they want. I thought privacy fences was good. Criminals like privacy fences because it gives them privacy. I said, wow, that's interesting. Yeah, if they can get over the privacy fence and they can do whatever they want to your house and nobody can see them. So they like privacy fences. So unless you live in a very, very nice neighborhood, your privacy fence could be something that attracts criminals to you instead of deters criminals from you. While we like the privacy, be in the backyard, have our barbecues and all that kind of stuff, and don't have to worry about our neighbors peering over, it also works against you as well. So if you have a privacy fence, you probably want to get a Fido. You know, Fido is the puppy, the dog, you know. Get Fido, and feed them good, and leave them in the back so they don't have to worry about it. All right? So, charitable donations. I put this here because many times this curriculum is not, if you notice, the curriculum does not, I wrote curriculums for the Urban League, who they've actually used this as well, at least the one in Nashville, Tennessee. They use this as well. And so a lot of the scripture has been extracted out of this. About 3 of them, 3 dogs, really? That's really... we extracted a lot of the scriptures on here, out of here. So we'll be doing it. So our charitable donations for us is our tithes and offering. There are other charitable donations that we could put in here, but we want to make sure that we put our tithes and offering in our charitable donations. We're going to be dealing with a whole segment because now I get to be more detailed with you. We're going to do a whole segment on just the tithe. We believe in God to multiply our money. We need to make sure that we're faithful to God. I'm not going to collect your tithe. I'm not asking you for money. So I have no bias in this. I just believe the principles of seed time and harvest work. I believe that, well, we'll get to it when we get to that section. So that's your tithe. Savings and investment. Every single budget, when we tell our money what to do, we're going to tell our money how much we're going to save every single month. Period. I want you to be at 10%, but every budget cannot start off at 10%. It's just not reality for some people. Because when we start looking at these percentages, remember we talked about the percentages, you only have 100%. When we start looking at these percentages, it's going to get tight. You're going to be like, man, I need 0.5% to go somewhere. I'm telling you, it gets tight. It gets really tight because when we start measuring these things in percentages of your income, and if you guys don't have the financial spreadsheet, the financial is called our cash flow statement. Email me at george@jimhoward.com. I'll get that over to you because when you begin to put these numbers into your budget, it will automatically categorize it in an expense, in a percentage. It will tell you your housing is this much, your transportation is this much, your savings is this much. It will tell you how much that is as far as that any particular category, what percentage that actually lines up to. That's very important because when you begin to start saying, man, we got to find some percentages somewhere, it's reality. I promise you. It's okay. So your housing. When we say housing, your housing makes up every single thing that it takes to make up your house. So that's your first mortgage, your second mortgage, or your renter's insurance, or your homeowner's insurance, your homeowner association fees, everything that it takes to run that house, with the exception of like your cable. But if it's mandatory for you, like your electricity, your gas, your garbage bill, those kind of things. And I think I caught everything. I don't have that open in front of me. I don't have the paperwork with me. but you guys have it with you as well. If you don't, email me. That's george@jimhoward.com. I want to get that over to you. I'm sorry I'm a little drained today, but I'm going to try to pick it up. All right, that's your housing. Your transportation is the same thing. There's so many things we do not consider when we actually talk about transportation, but it's part of it. You cannot forget these things. Your transportation, here it is. You ready? If you guys have the budget spreadsheets, it's already on your budget spreadsheets, or your cash flow statements is what we call it. It's actually before of your cash, how it comes in and goes out. That makes up your car note. It's going to make up the maintenance on that car. It's going to make up the insurance on that car. You got to have insurance, especially if you're in a state that requires you to have insurance on your vehicles. That makes up your transportation, because that's an expense every single month that you have to have for transportation. Included in that is also going to be gas. Some cars burn more gas than others. If you got that big V6 or V8 engine, yeah, it's nice when you in traffic and you need to get going and you need to, if you like me, every once in a while you just want to hit it real quick and, cut in and out of traffic, especially if you're in the Chicagoland area or any major metropolitan city where people can't drive. It's kind of funny. Everybody say people can't drive, but we're the ones on the street. So I'm one of those that people can't drive, but if they was behind me or in the car with me, they probably, man, we praying the whole way there and the whole way home. But hey, that V8, I like it, but there's gas costs to come with that. If you got a car that only takes premium gas, it has to be taken into consideration. If you have a car where it's going to be higher insurance, if it's considered a sports car or a luxury car and the insurance is going to be so much higher because of that, you have to take that into consideration, because if you had a smaller vehicle, you would not use as much gas. If you had a smaller engine, your insurance would be cheaper. Those are things that we have to consider. Your tags. If you're in a state like Indiana, like I am, they charge you your tax based on the value of the vehicle. If you're in Tennessee, I think it's set at Demond, I think what is it, $76 a year, $84 a year? It's cheap. It's like less than $100. At least it was when I left. Demond, what is it for tax a year in Tennessee? I think it's, and I don't care what kind of car you have, everybody pays the same thing. Not like that in Indiana. Your tax is based on the value of your car. So the more expensive car you have, the more money you're going to pay for those particular tags. Those things take up your transportation. And we categorize these because everything that makes up that is a percentage of your income, and that's going towards transportation. California car based on value. So California is based on value as well. So every state is different. And this is the first time we've actually had people from all over the country in this teaching. Usually we're in a stationary place and everybody's from the same place. So this is going to be interesting as well too. We want you to, well, we'll get there. Your debt is simply this. All of your fixed expense, well, they're not always fixed because revolving credit is not fixed. All of your expenses on credit card debt, student loans that you have, if you, all of those loans go in this debt category. We're going to actually come up with a strategy. We're going to be talking about that in the weeks coming up on how we're going to eliminate that debt. Then we have entertainment expenses. If you do it for fun, it goes in this category. Again, if you do it for fun, it goes in this category. Also, we put into this category your subscriptions. If you have magazine subscriptions, if you have gym memberships, that's entertainment. I know you're like, that's not entertainment, that's a workout. Well, in this particular category, it's entertainment. Is where we're going to put it. Anything that you do, if you order movies once a week and you go to the Red Box, if you, I don't know, whatever you guys do for entertainment. You say, well, I go out to eat. Me and my spouse go out to eat once a week. That is not going to go in entertainment. That's going to go under food. And I don't see food on here. Is it on the next page? No, food should be on here. I don't see food on here. And then we have personal care. I'll call that the Walmart fund, the Wally World fund. That's your personal care, all your hygiene, all of your, as well as all of the things that it takes to run your household, like your Windex or your cleaning supplies, all that kind of stuff that goes into your personal care / house fund. All that goes in there. Children is your daycare expenses. If you have a baby or an infant and they require daycare or after school care, anything that takes, or tutoring, anything that you require for your child, anything that goes towards your child, babysitting. We go out, and my spouse go out once a week or once a month, and we have to get a babysitter, something to that extent. It goes right here in the children. On the clothing, it's not just clothes. You got a laundry, and that's not laundry. That laundry detergent goes into your personal care supplies, all the other stuff, your Walmart fund. But if you do cleaners, which is something we call laundry as well, your cleaners bill go in there as well. If you are male and you get your shoes shined, that goes into part of your clothing fund. That's part of that. Getting your shoes shined. What does it take to obtain and maintain your clothes goes into that. And then we have personal. Your personal stuff is like your cable. We put that in personal. What else? Your internet, your cell phone. That's personal. What else is personal? Your fun fund. Your fun fund. That's called me money. That's the money that has not been delineated to go anywhere. It's not earmarked. That's the money you say, you know what, $100 a month, which is $25 a week. I can do whatever I want to do with it. And George is not going to say nothing about it because I told my money what it's going to do. This is for me. This is my money. And that's important. You can't plan everything. I understand you can't plan everything, but we're going to try to plan as much as we can. So that money that your spouse says, this is your fun fund, this is your fun fund, or your me money, however you want to disclose it, or how you want to talk about it, that's for them. We're not going, whatever they want to do with it is theirs. There's no accountability as to where it goes, but we've already earmarked it. If we allowed $200 for shopping that month, and they say, I want to take my extra $100 and I want to put it with my clothes, you can do whatever you want to with it. That's your money. It's not earmarked. It's not going to do anything. But the good thing is that you've already paid your tithes. You've already paid yourself. You've already paid all your transportation costs. You paid all your housing costs. All your debt is paid for. Your entertainment is paid for. Your personal care is paid for. Your hygiene, all your stuff for your house has already been bought. Your children are taken care of. All your stuff for your laundry is taken care of. This is money that, what are you going to do with it? Like, everything's been taken care of. This is the stuff that discretionary spending. I want to go to the vending machine money. That's that. I want to treat myself to lunch money. All that kind of stuff. So if you decide to do something extra that month, that comes out of your fun fund, comes out of your me money. That's your money. People usually smile when we get to the me money part until we actually put it on paper. You start seeing that me money go down. The problem is that we had a lot of me money and no savings money, and we got to start taking it home. That's usually where we find many of our leaks, many of our holes, is in that discretionary spending called me money. And typically that me money is not recorded. You know what your debt is. You know what that is. You know every single month, I got to pay Visa, MasterCard, student loan, Discover, mortgage, car note. I got to do these things. That's that discretionary spending that you don't know where it's going. You don't know what you're doing with it. You don't know where your money went. That's where the holes are. That's what we're looking for. That's the leak. We cannot manage it if we cannot measure it. So everything we do is set up a system of measurement. That's why you got to track your expenses. You cannot manage it if you cannot measure it. So we're going to put everything on paper. If you bought a stick of gum today for 25, gum ain't even 25 cents no more. You know, you used to get the 5 sticks of gum for 25 cents. That went away too. Like, well, something else that we usually kind of hit, but not really be able to deal with on a more emphatic or more detailed basis, is things like inflation. We're going to teach you that stuff, because if you guys are going to be wealth accumulators, you got to know what inflation is. It works against you. We got to talk about taxes and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So these are your categories. These are your expense categories. We're going to actually take all of your expenses and we're going to put them in these categories. And we're going to actually begin to detail what you're spending in each one of these categories, so we can get a percentage of your income that's going in these categories. What do you spend a month on food? If you're spending 20% on food, you only got 80% left. And you already know God got 10%, that's 70%. You got 10%, that's 60%. You still got car note, you still got mortgage, you still got rent, you still got a whole lot of stuff still left. Entertainment, children, clothing, all that other kind of stuff is still left. And you're going to notice, man, 1% makes a big difference. You're gonna find that out. You're going to find it out really quickly. It's going to happen. But you have to start tracking your expenses. So if you guys are with me with tracking these expenses every single day, I want you to type tracking my expenses in the text. So I'm typing in now. I'm tracking I need commitment from everybody that's in the group. If you're in the group, I need a commitment from you that you're going to track your expenses every single day. It's a requirement. It's a requirement. It ain't something you want to do, you might do. It's a requirement. If you spend it, you have to write it down. Let's go. Put it in there. Tracking my expenses. I'm committed. I already do. I'm glad, Raven. Thank you so much. That means you probably know where your leaks are. Okay, that's one. Tracking our expenses. All right, we got it. Amen. I want to see everybody commit. I want to see it. Denise, where you at? Brittany, where you at? I don't see Christina or Josette on the line. I don't see Lady Drea today. That's okay. We got replays. They can be it. Don't forget to email me at georgia@gmhoward.com. Bugs. She said she called him out. Tracking my expenses and doing my taxes. All right. But she just called Bug out. Bug, where you at, man? You got to put it on up here. Tracking my expenses. All right, Brittany, I got you. Tracking my expenses. Bug, we waiting on you. You got called out. You got called. That's too funny. She said, Bug. Maybe he walked away from the phone or something. I'm not sure. But we going to believe God that he's going to be faithful and diligent in tracking those expenses in the name of Jesus. All right. Tracking those expenses. She just called him out. Hey, well, you need to know. All right. When it comes to tracking your expenses. All right. Now, okay, I got you, Bug. Thank you so much. Now, once we track those expenses, I'm going to tell you now, man, this is so hard when it's not in the classroom environment. I need to know what your priority list was. I need to know it, but we're not going to do it that way. Let's do it this way. What we'll do is we're just going to trust that you guys are going to do this the right way. We have to just use some faith in this. Use the faith. If you guys weren't committed to doing it, you wouldn't be coming on an hour a day every day. So I just believe that you are. So when it comes to tracking your expenses, what we're going to do and find out, and this is always interesting, man, this is always fun, is when we track our expenses. Remember those things that we said were our priorities that we lined up, and it probably looked like something like God first, family second, our housing and all that kind of stuff. The things that we had down there, those are really not our priorities. Things like that, things that are our priorities are things like our cable, our cell phone. It's funny. It's so funny, man. People are like, oh yeah, the Lord is my priority. My family is my priority. I got a whole list of things. I don't think I even have it out with me. That's sad on my point. Actually, I think it's still in the vehicle from when I was traveling and I was reading and driving at the same time that y'all told me not to do, and I did it anyway. I think I left that material in the car. But we're going to take that and we're going to take your expenses and how you actually spend them, and we're going to see if it lines up with your priorities. I can already tell you now, it don't. We're going to make it that way. Remember, what you've been doing with your money was not lined up with your priorities, but we're going to actually begin to tell our money what to do. We're going to begin to tell our money what to do instead of finding out what it did. That is always hilarious. This is one of the parts of the curriculum where we actually have a lot of fun in the classroom, especially when there's spouses involved. Oh my God, them going back and forth. It is so funny. It is so fun. And we have a lot of fun with that, I'm telling you. And I wish we had that experience here, that we could be live and actually do that. I was trying to think of a way we could actually do it here. But tell me this. Okay, I got a question. Tell me this, and you guys can text it in. Based on what you know so far, what you're tracking your expenses and what you put for your priorities, how many you think that they're actually in line? Remember, there should be a whole list of priorities if you guys did your homework. There should be a whole list of priorities. Number one, I can already tell you, number one, you guys put God. Number two, you put family. These are given. It's not until you get around number 6 that things start changing, like cell phone, vacation, birthdays, holidays. That's when things start changing for a lot of people. But based on what we've talked about so far, in your back of your mind, as you begin to think about what you did with your expenses, honestly, doesn't line up with your priorities. The Bible says this, that where your treasure is, there shall your heart be also. Your treasure is that your heart should be also. Your heart is your priorities. Your heart is your Are you spending money on priorities? Well, what you say is a priority. Or are you pulling from what should be a priority and putting it somewhere else? So, for example, if you say savings is a priority for me, well, how much money are you putting in savings? As opposed to how much money you pay on your cell phone bill. Because your cell phone bill is usually somewhere around 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere on the list. There was 20 items on the list. Usually cell phone is somewhere around 7, 8, 9, or 10, somewhere in there or lower. But we pay that cell phone bill every single month, and we're not saving anything, right? Or as much, or what we should. So is your cell phone bill a priority, or is savings are priority. We got to get that in line. And we can't pull from something that's not a priority. Well, we can't pull for something that is a priority and put it in something that's not a priority. If it's bottom of the list, it gets paid last. I'm sorry. I know y'all said, it's like, wait a minute. Did he just say we can't pay our phone bill? I did not say that. It means that we're going to have to adjust some lifestyles so that we can keep the cell phone bill as well as save or do the things that we say is important to us. We have to be able to do that. I'm telling you, it's fun. That's one of the very, very fun parts about this curriculum that we're not going to be able to have in the same classroom. But, so, I just want you to type yes or no. And I can tell you now, in the classroom, I don't think I've ever got anybody, and I'm talking about hundreds of classes, thousands of people, over 20 years, I don't think I got anybody who priorities then lined up with what they said were a priority as far as their finances. So I'm going to say it again. I think I messed that up. So I don't think I've ever got anybody who said no, who said these are the things that are a priority to me. And this is actually what you're spending your money on. I don't think I've ever had anybody to actually say, oh yeah, my priorities and my spending line up together. Out of like literally thousands of people. I've never had it happen. So let's see if I get somebody today who can actually say yes. Okay, type yes or no if your priorities, I would think Mr. Robinson, thank you so much for tuning in, has already said we just lost somebody. Who just quit on me? We just dropped a number on the screen. It's like, yeah, we just dropped somebody else. Lord Jesus, don't run away. No, going to do better. We got people dropping off the line. They was like, oh my God, Jesus, no, we got to go. Don't leave. We going to get it right. I promise. We going to make it right. Don't leave. Yes, we're going to make it better. Before our money told us what to do, well, barely. Before our money was telling us what to do, now we're telling our money what to do. And we're going to actually start doing that according to the priority list. This is what we said is priority. This is what's important to us. This is what we said is important to us. If it's important, then we're going to start making sure that we put incremental income in those particular places that are important. I know. Y'all was like, I didn't know we was going to do that when we did our priority list. That's the point. That's the point. If you knew that, then you would have changed your priorities based on your spending. No. You do your priorities and then you make your income line up with those particular categories on your expense report. Always a twist with you. Well, if you seen it coming, then it wouldn't have worked. I seen a couple yes and no's, but did we get anybody who can say yes? Anybody say yes? They line up right now. I got it right now. Type yes or no into the screen. Let's see who we got. Can I hit this button to find out who's on the line? Okay, we got Leslie, we got Harvey, and we got Denise. I ain't heard from y'all. I'm waiting to hear from y'all. Let's see. Is that a yes or a no? They line up, they don't line up. No, I saw it coming a long time ago. Oh, have you seen me? No, I don't think you've seen me teach this. Oh, so you've seen it coming. Okay. All right. So with that being no, I mean, we got some work to do. We got to start telling our kids what to do. Your money is your kids. Kids don't talk back. When you tell them to do something, that's what they better do. If not, there's some consequences. Your kids is your money. They should do exactly what you tell it to do. I couldn't tell my mama what to do. They line up already. All right, let's go. I couldn't tell my mama what to do. If I told my mama, I would ask my mama stuff like, where you going? She'd be like, I'm 7 times 3. I had to think about it. It's 21. In other words, she would say, I'm grown. Don't be asking me what to For real. That's an honest, good answer. So I'm 7 times 3. Or she'd say, I'm going to see a man about a dog. We getting a dog? No, we ain't getting a dog. In other words, none of your business. Yeah, we could not give my parents what to do. No, that wasn't going to work. So now I'm starting to get the lines across my screen. Is it freezing up on you guys? Starting to get like little lines coming across my screen. Hope not. All right. Now, here's another fun part that we're going to close out with. And we're going to actually talk about what is freezing up on some people. It's not everybody. I know some people saying, yeah, it's glitching. Okay. Don't know what that's about. All right. Is something we definitely have to know what it is. And man, I missed the interaction in class because this would like usually take a little longer. But as you guys do your homework tonight, when you guys report back, just report back to me. If you guys have some ideas how we can actually do this in this kind of environment, put it in your email, george@gm gmhoward.com. Email me and let me know. So, wants and desires. Y'all ready? Say it again. Needs, wants, and desires. What are they? Understanding the difference between needs, wants, and desires is detrimental. All right? Y'all ready? A need is, and this is on page 6. Boom, page 6. A need is this. Something that is essential or necessary. Same thing. Same thing that is essential or necessary. A want is an actual item of need. A want is an actual item of need. It's the item. The desire, and it look like it froze up. Okay, it's coming back through. A desire, type of the brand of the item that you would like. So I have some examples on here. You need transportation. Look like Raven got kicked out. She's coming back in. So yeah, I don't know what this is about. You need transportation. Somebody take a screenshot of the hearts and send them to me, please, before I start kicking people out so we can actually send that to Periscope. You need transportation. That's a need, okay? Now, some of y'all may say, well, my transportation, I need it, but I catch the bus. I'm in a city where we ride trains. If you on East Coast or many people there don't have cars. They use public transportation for everything. So you may not need a car. You may say, I need transportation, but it ain't a car. It's, it's whatever you use. But your want would be a car. Your desire would be a Benz or a Bentley or a Rolls. That's your desire. Clothes would be a need. You gotta have clothes. What you want is shirts, jeans, shoes. That's your wants. Your desire would be your, what's the jean? True Religion jeans that cost us $100 a pair. That's, yeah, ridiculous. The name brand stuff, and I'm not gonna start calling out stuff because I know y'all be like, yo, so hard on the women. I'm gonna be hard on everybody in the name of Jesus. Everybody. Nobody likes a tough coach until they win, and we're gonna win in Jesus' name. Shelter is a need. What you want would be a house. You might want to rent, but your desire would be bedrooms, 3 baths. That's a desire. It's a desire. We can work with the needs. We can't work with the needs. To take that back, we gotta have transportation. We gotta have food. We gotta have clothing. We gotta have shelter. We can work with the desires. We can work with the desires. Key, the niche comes in. Remember, as we relation to another, we're doing an inspection. We're doing an inspection of the vehicle. Do you have any before? Is there an oil leak? Is there a gas leak? Are you losing air pressure in your tire? We might have to plug some hose. We might have to seal some gaskets. That's some stuff we gotta do. But your expenses to know where they're going. We gotta know where's the leak. We gotta find the leak, and we gotta be able to do that. We're kind of combining 2 weeks into one, but we can do that because we meet every single day. As we do our expense report, I want you to put down a need, a want, or a desire. We know the category already is the need. The category is the need. I want you to put a want or desire down there. Yeah. So it's going to look like this. You're going to say something like under, you can, on your expense report, you're going to say 8 McDonald's. We said 8 McDonald's. Desire. It was a desire. It was not a need. You needed food. You desired McDonald's. You could have fixed a lunch at home. If you fix, then you're good. Because you didn't spend no extra money for it. So it actually probably won't even go on the expense report because you didn't spend no money. So is it a need, or want, or desire? As you guys put that down in your expense report, things that go on there. Y'all ready? You spent in the category, what you spent it on, and then we're going to actually start talking, categorizing this. Does it line up with your priorities? Yes or no? And then we're also going to put on there, was it a want or desire? Was it a want or desire? And based on this information, we know where our leaks are. We're going to start making the adjustments to our finances so that we know where it's going. Now, we spent about 2, maybe 3 weeks. We spent the whole month of January meeting every single day, and we didn't deal with numbers. Why? Because before we deal with numbers, I'm telling you, to make these adjustments, you got to change your mindset. To make these adjustments, you want wealth more than you want stuff. You have to want your lifestyle to be, when you retire, than it is than you have now. You want to start your bill. You start saying, leave an inheritance for my children. And you want to start doing that. The only way you get there is discipline. The only way you get there is discipline. And I'm telling you, when we start putting these numbers on paper, it's going to be an eye-opener for many of us to start seeing where our money, we're spending our money, and our expo statement. Georgia Jim Hom, I will get you one over to you to begin to do this. I know this is part in the classroom environment. It's a lot more function. You talk back, we play, we have a good thing. But email me at georgiajimhoward.com so we can figure out how to make this thing more entertaining real quickly. So I want you guys to text desire that you spend money on presently. A particular desire that you know you spend money on presently. So I'll go first. I won't text it in. I'll just let you know. A desire that I probably do on regularly, at least once a week, food. I probably order probably once a week. That really breaking up. Yeah. We'll try to see. Everybody, if you can, Periscope, go to the little guy at the top, and then go to settings. I think it is help something like that. We gotta fill out. Let's go ahead and send it, and let them know that it's breaking up, and let them know that the hearts are not kept. The hearts and it's flipping up. And the replays always play better, but for some it's not. So, okay. Please, if you guys can, do these things. And we about to finish it up and end it up. Needs, wants, and desires. So before we go, let's go ahead and do this. I know that it's freezing up on you, so done. I'm not sure. I would probably say I order out probably once or twice a week food. I got in it that all I got to do is get a sandwich and actually save that money. The desires I have. What is a desire that you already is not a want? I mean, it's not a need. It's a desire that you think that you might be able to change. Let's see. Who's going to go first? Who's going to actually list their desire first? For some of y'all, it might be a name brand of clothes. For some of you, it might be you go to the vending machine. What's that desire do? It got to be a daily basis. It could be a weekly basis. You know, I go out to eat once a month. I go to the movies. Breaking up bad. I don't know what you said. Okay. That being said, we're going to go. You guys can't. I apologize again. It's just a vehicle information too. So, again, your homework is this. I'm going to talk about your finish it up. Is to track your expenses every single day. Get your folder. It should look like this. Or in the classes, we actually had we actually went to the dollar store. You know the little tablets that like this big, they flip up. They were really like this big. When we went breakthrough, it actually came a part of your thing. And it was something that was real small. You can put in your purse. If guys, you got an inside coat pocket, you put in your inside coat pocket. If you guys have cell phones, there are actually programs now that you can track your expenses. You can put that now, download that particular application, track your expenses. But every single thing you do, you want to record it. I don't care if you put it in your cell phone. I don't care if you write it down on a little bitty piece of paper. I don't care if you put it in a folder. But wherever you do it at, it needs to be able to maintain an expense schedule for a particular period of time. A sheet here and a sheet of paper over here. And we got to go forward. Well, on Monday, this. On Tuesday, I did this. on Wednesday. We don't want that. We want actually you to be able to have all of this information in why. That's important. Always look for leaks in your car. All right. That's it. God bless you. Thank you for attention. We're talking about getting a hold of these finances, and we're going to get a hold of them. So, and tomorrow we'll be talking about, what are we talking about? Oh, the 6 P's of purchasing. The 6 P's of purchasing. When I was on the radio, we did it like this. I got to pee when I purchase. I got to pee when I purchase. It's a play on words. The 6 P's of purchasing. Y'all get it? I got to pee when I purchase. Never mind. Y'all didn't get it. I got to pee when I purchase. Actually beginning to what are the, actually added a 7. And actually as a 7th one. It might be the 7 P's of purchases. Tomorrow morning we're going to be talking about Abraham again, and we're going to be talking about confession, the law of confession. Tomorrow morning we're going to be making some confessions in Jesus' name and bringing confessions to place, and we're going to be doing that every single day. Every single day we're going to be doing confession, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. I'll see you at 7:30 where we talk about changing your mindset. I'll see you then. God bless you.